You know how people are opposed to men having to say so in women's reproductive rights?
Hmm.
How do you feel about that? Do you feel a man should be able to say, let's not even say the government. Do you feel that a significant other should be able to say, no, you need to have an abortion?
It depends. If the woman is pregnant and she wants to keep the kid, or say the woman is pregnant, she wants to abort the child, and he says no, I think his thoughts should definitely be taken into consideration. If he can prove that he's going to be there and that he's going to support the child financially and emotionally, then
So he
yeah,
gets
that should be taken into consideration.
so
Absolutely.
he gets to force her to carry a child to term, if I'm hearing you right, and put all that stress on her body because he's gonna be here. So you're saying
Well,
he'll
yeah,
sign a contract?
because like you stated before, the women should be responsible. And if she wasn't responsible enough to not have sex, or at least to not use protection, then that's one of the consequences of having to deal with that. Yeah.
I don't feel that anybody should be forced to be a parent, male or female.
I don't
You
think
know what I'm
anybody
saying?
is forced to be a parent. If you make the decisions, then that's the consequence or the benefit of having unprotected sex.
I I would say that when you have unprotected sex, even if you have protected sex, even if you use birth control, whatever the case may be, whatever your method of contraception is, if you didn't sign up to have a baby and build a lasting relationship with this individual, then you didn't sign up to be a parent. It is a consequence thereof, but if it wasn't planned, I just think it's irresponsible to bring that kid into the world. But we all
Absolutely.
have done it. And I'm not judging nobody. I don't want to seem judgmental. I just look at it in hindsight like, yo, we need to be conscious of that because I feel like that, we talk about generational curses, that recreates or perpetuates a cycle of poverty. You know what I'm saying? You
It
18,
can,
19.
but not necessarily. It doesn't
It,
always.
it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed, but it increases the probability. And if you're already in an impoverished condition,
Oh,
it,
yeah.
it increases the likelihood. Because generally speaking, it's not going to be the surgeon's kid having a baby. It's not going to be the judge's kid having a baby. It's going to be other impoverished kids, people without the resources.
Not
Generally
necessarily.
speaking, no,
Necessarily.
I'm not. I'm not saying absolutely. I'm not
No,
saying
no, no.
absolutely.
I'm just telling you facts. 60% of the women that have abortions are middle class white women.
But that's not
They
what I'm
are
saying, Mo.
majority of the people. So they have the means to take care of a child.
But that's not what I was talking about.
What are you talking
What I
about?
was talking about specifically was when you have a kid and you're impoverished. I'm talking about the impoverished demographic.
Okay.
It's
So okay,
perpetuating
so
the
only the
cycle of
poor people
poverty.
shouldn't, but the ones that already have the means to take care of it should.
I feel like okay, financial means does not mean that you have the emotional and psychological means.
Most people
I am
don't
not
that have
emotionally
kids.
equipped.
I don't care how
Like
old you are. Most people don't have the psychological and
oh,
emotional means, right?
so let's put this in perspective. I know that I'm using me as an example, this hypothetical. I know that I'm off my rocker. I tell you, I'm not equipped because I'm still dealing with my own trauma. Now I have this kid, and now I'm abusive to this kid. I done told you I wasn't prepared for this. Whose fault is it? I'm broken, and you put me in a job that I'm ill-equipped to
It's
perform.
both people's fault.
You know, to some degree, Mo, you are correct.
Not to some degree, it is. It is an equal. It takes two motherfuckers to come together, have sex unprotected, and create a child. Period. You need the sperm to do the thing with the eggs, all
Yes,
that. You
in
need
that
both.
regard, yes. But when only one person gets to dictate the outcome, like I'm gonna keep it or I'm not gonna keep it, it's only on that one person who is the decision maker. And that's where the disparity comes into play. We can't sit back like, oh no, it took two to tango. Yes, it did. But did we both come to the decision and say, yo, we're gonna move forward? Was this a democratic decision, or was this a dictatorship? Said no, I'm pregnant. I've been waiting for this. I'm keeping them. The
Isn't
man don't
that
got nothing to
something
do with
that
that
a
decision.
man should probably ask though before he lays down with a woman unprotected? Be like, hey, do you believe in abortion or not? You know, and if she says no, I don't. And isn't it on that man to think twice to not have
Look
unprotected
like
sex with
that.
this woman?
That
Because
would
he
probably
already know
be
he off his rocker, right? So where the
that
fuck
would
is
be
his
ideal.
accountability? Where is his accountability?
He has to be. You know who I hold accountable? I hold accountable dudes who say they want to be with somebody, who mislead these chicks, promise them a future of love and happiness, and then they betray them and then they leave. I will hold somebody deadbeat dads who married somebody and then they left and then they didn't do anything. But somebody who was a one night stand or a jump off who just come through for a little bit of fun, you draft them into a position that they're not equipped for. And it's weird to me, right? That a man doesn't have a say so on what a woman could do with her body. But you should know this. Do you know that in the military, if you're a male and you married and you want to have a vasectomy, you need your spouse's approval?
No, I didn't
You
know
know,
that.
so how is it that you get to take my reproductive rights? This is military, of course, but I don't get to say, yo, I'm not equipped to have no more kids. Wrap that one up.
Because the difference is that's a preventative thing. That's just like a woman going and getting birth control and then her needing her husband's approval to get on birth control, right? So if it's a vasectomy, then it should be the same for birth control for women. But you're talking about a fetus, cells that are already created
I'm,
and are
I'm
here.
talking about embryo.
Right.
An
An
embryo, a
embryo,
cluster
a
of cells
fetus,
that with an organ.
it's already formed. You are
Hold
now
on, hold
taking
on, hold on.
something away.
Mo, let's make a distinction. You know this. There's a difference between an embryo and a fetus, right?
We're not going there because
Well,
I
hold on,
believe
no,
that
because you're
once
using a term. You're using a term that's gonna mislead people. Is there a distinction between an embryo and a fetus? That's a yes or no question.
there is,
Okay, what is the difference?
well, one is the beginning and then the other is a little bit later on.
Here's a question for you. Let's go back into these scenarios. I got a jar full of embryos. I'm holding them over the edge of the Grand Canyon. I got a 6-month-old fetus. You get to save all these embryos, or you get to save this 6-month, 8-month-old fetus. Which one are you going to save? Your hesitation already gives me the answer, because you know that you don't consider
what's my
those.
answer, sir?
You already know. Well, that those embryos mean nothing. This life is sustainable at this
First of
point.
all, I would never say the embryos mean nothing.
You wouldn't say that, but your hesitation, you okay?
Listen, we're not
We
gonna
gonna
play
play
this
this
would you
game.
rather game, okay? Because it's ludicrous. Because that would never happen. Let's stick to actual
Okay,
real shit, okay? So let's stick to real shit.
okay.
The baby is already the embryo is already here, okay? The embryo is here. They've already conceived. It's forming. The woman's body is already starting to change, right? Finally, she realizes her period is gone after 2 months. How she just not realizing this, I don't know, but it happens, right? Baby's already 2 months, whatever.
You assuming it's 2 months though.
The
After
husband
2 months,
or the
that's a
significant,
fetus.
huh?
After 2 months, that's a fetus, right?
I don't know what the time frames are. I'll have to look it up. I don't know from what to what does it become, you know. But and the reason why I don't know is because I don't care. I feel like once it's because I don't think it makes a difference. I don't think it makes a difference. If a woman is already pregnant, they've already conceived, there's a child there, and that
Okay.
man doesn't
You got a
want the
woman.
child.
You got a woman that is 1 month pregnant. She just found out. She only had sex one time 3 to 4 weeks ago. So we know she can only be pregnant 3 to 4 weeks, right? Meanwhile, you got a woman that's 9 months pregnant. You could save one. Which one are you gonna save? Which one are you gonna save? Triage. You got to triage it, right? If they both like, oh, we're pregnant, which one are you gonna save? Which one is two
Of course,
lives?
I'm gonna save the 9-month baby.
Well, but why? They're both lives. Why the 9 months? Why does the 9 month one get more love than the embryo?
The 9-month one don't get more life, but which one is more likely? We don't know if the embryo is even gonna make it to the second trimester.
Exactly.
The 9 baby is already basically here.
That's the point. So there is a difference when you're looking at them. In my opinion, let me qualify this, right. Once again, I'm pro-choice. You do what you want to do, but to try to say that a 1 month embryo, 6-week embryo that doesn't even have a heartbeat yet, that doesn't even have a brain yet, that doesn't even have organs developed yet, is the same as a 9-month fetus or 8-month or a 7-month fetus. Come on, man. Are we like, I know this is very controversial. I'm not trying to be controversial for the sake of controversy, but if we being logical, take emotions out of it. Are we really comparing? They can't be equal. Are you saying they're equal?
That's just like beauty in the eye of the beholder.